What will happen in the new episode? Will Serkan build art life from scratch? What will Serkan do after finding out that Eda is pregnant? What will Cherry do when she finds out that she is having a sister? Everything and more now in this video. If you don't want our series to be final before continuing with our video, don't forget to share and like our video. Serkan sacrificed himself for her loved ones. By selling his shares in the company, he paid off the bank debt and provided the necessary financing for Eda. But selling his shares meant leaving the company. He was very sad in his heart for leaving his job as an architect. He wanted to teach at the university to keep him alive, even a little bit. However, he was still eager to pursue projects. And that's what Eda had always seen. Anyway, PRL and Engin don't want to do without Serkan. When Eda goes to the company, she sees PRL and Engin's situation and gives them a good idea. Thus, Serkan will be able to return to art life. Eda's plans are very successful, and when Serkan goes to speak with PRL and Engin for the last time, they decide to start everything from scratch. Although they decided to start over, it is still unclear who bought the shares. What if Serkan and his friends started everything from scratch? Or Kemal Bey, who has a business big enough to do business with art life, will give the shares to Serkan and the person who bought the shares. While all this is happening, Serkan, who receives the news from Eda, will not know what to do. Serkan will be very happy when he arrives a new baby with the happiness that Kiraz gives him. She will make everyone very happy, not just Serkan. Kiraz, who wants a brother at every opportunity, will be the happiest. Since the finale of our series is planned, as the final episodes approach, all the remaining events gradually become clear. I wish our show had a longer second season with a solid script. Now let's take a look at what happened together in the last episode. Eda asks Serkan how she ran art life and the investor business. However, Serkan overcomes it. Just when Eda is going to insist, Kiraz comes in and asks if we have any money now. However, when Serkan says that happiness has nothing to do with money and that wealth is happiness in the family, Kiraz says that we are very rich. On the other hand, Engin and PRL are very angry with Serkan. They do not want to accept Serkan's departure. Aiden is also very curious about what is happening. So Aiden calls PRL and asks him what happened. Engin and PRL tell Aiden everything that happened. Aiden is very surprised to hear what happened and tells Kemal. Kemal, for his part, dismisses the incident, saying that he will give importance to his family from now on, accepting what happened very naturally. Meanwhile, PRL and Engin come and get very angry with Eda and Serkan. However, Eda is unaware of the facts and found out at that time. Serkan says that he was going to tell the facts, but PRL and Engin acted before me. Next, Eda would like to thank Serkan for make a lot of sacrifices. Just when Eda and Serkan are talking, Kiraz comes over and says I have homework. His homework says that he will ask questions by interviewing everyone. Serkan, on the other hand, invites everyone to dinner and says they can interview there, including Mr. Kemal. PRL and Engin continue to work for the company. However, Engin is unable to focus on work due to his catering business. This is why PRL gets very angry with Engin. While they review the balance sheets, Erdem arrives and spoils their morale. However, the only thing they have in mind is that Serkan left art life. At dinner, everyone tries to support Serkan. That's why everyone says different job opportunities. However, Serkan says that he has decided what to do and will lecture at the university. Everyone congratulates Serkan. After hearing this, Aiden calls PRL and tells him what happened. PRL is very surprised by this situation. He turns Aiden off and hangs up. Meanwhile, Kerem tells Eda what she thinks about Pina and asks her what to do. Everyone is having a great time at dinner. It's time for Kiraz's questions, and his first question is how to have a child. Everyone tells what he is like. However, Kiraz still didn't understand how the incident happened. It was time for bed and they read a story to Edar and Serkan Kiraz and put them to bed. Afterwards, Edar and Serkan talk about how to behave and how to dress for college the next day. The next day, she enters her first lesson. However, it does not turn out as expected. Because everyone came to see Serkan Balat instead of learning architecture. Serkan, on the other hand, really tried to be patient. Serkan wanted to tell Edar everything that happened during the lunch break, but Edar fell asleep at the table. When she realizes that Edar is sleeping at the moment, he immediately wakes Edar up and tells her, "Why don't you listen? You're tired of me." Edar, on the other hand, says, "Why don't you warn me?" and reacts. Later, when Edar tells Serkan how to behave around students, what he says makes sense to Serkan. On the other hand, Barak and Melo have started to be together now. Afur, on the other hand, began to tell Aiden how to cook meals so that she could lead a normal life. Edar is next to Serkan. Then when she goes to school to pick up Kiraz, she meets PRL. The PRL reaction is not over yet. After a short fight, they leave and go home. Serkan, on the other hand, explains the subjects to his students and gives them homework after they finish the lesson. However, one of the students asks him if he gives her homework for the next day instead of the evening and calls Serkan at the disco at night. Serkan accepts this offer and goes to Edar and Kiraz, who are waiting at the exit. When they talk about what they can do for dinner, Kiraz says, "Let's go get a burger." Meanwhile, Engin and PRL also think of something to eat. Kang also wants to eat a hamburger like Kiraz. Serkan and Edar are there when they go to the burger shop. Even if they don't want to, when Kang and Kiraz sit together, they have to sit together. As they eat, they talk to each other for the children. Engin and PRL can't take it anymore and they get up and leave. At that moment, Edar calls Melo and asks if one of Serkan's students has invited him to the party and if he can take care of Kiraz. In Melo, she asks if we watch together with Barak. Edar realizes that something is wrong. In the evening, Serkan and Edar go to the party. Melo and Barak are with Kiraz to take care of Kiraz. They think that Kiraz is sleeping and they speak freely. But Cherry has heard everything that happened. And she blackmails Melo not to tell anyone. When Serkan and Edar arrive home and see that Kiraz is awake, Edar immediately realizes that Kiraz ate ice cream. Because Cherry has a lot of energy, Edar immediately calls Melo and Barak and asks them what happened. Kiraz says that he has a part of silence. Edar realizes that Kiraz ate ice cream as a bribe. The next day, while Serkan is reviewing the students' homework, he tells Edar a few things. However, Edar has gone back to sleep. Serkan, on the other hand, thought that he was bored with himself and left. Meanwhile, Kiraz arrives and asks Serkan what he is doing. After talking to Serkan and Kiraz for a bit, Serkan realizes some mistakes he has made against the students. Pina and Kerem went on a picnic together and they are having a good time. Things are told that they have never done in their lives. Serkan studies homework with his students at university. He talks about the mistakes they have made and where they need to be corrected. Later, he calls Edar and asks why he didn't come to college. But then he realized why he hadn't come. Edar wants to go, but Serkan says class is over and they will have tea with the students. Melo and Barak are together, but Melo doesn't want anyone to know. Barak, on the other hand, can no longer handle this situation. Because he doesn't want to hide the bond from him and he wants everyone to know. Serkan went to have tea with the students. Just as they start talking, Edar comes over and joins the conversation. She is especially surprised that Serkan drinks tea. On the other hand, PRL and Engin cannot do what they want in the company. No matter what they do, they can never convince customers. Since the projects are not finished, they have to ask for time. However, no one gives PRL and Engin what they want. And the first thing they thought was if Serkan had been, he would have fixed everything by now. After the tea talk, Eda tells Serkan that she should think about architecture. She goes out and takes Kiraz away. However, when she can't see Can, Kiraz asks her where she is. He says his mother took him to work. And he says they can go see it together. Although Eda doesn't want to, she can't stand Kiraz's insistence and they go to the company to see Can. Serkan is home alone, but Kemal Bey arrives later. Together, they talk about the things their spouses do to each other. Then Kemal Bey asks Serkan for backgammon. Even if Serkan doesn't want to, he can't stand it and goes and takes backgammon. When Eda arrives at the company, she sees PRL and Engin. They both couldn't get out of business. She especially missed Engin Serkan a lot. Eda still offers to help, though she reacts. He recounts the situation and says they are in trouble. When Eda goes home at night, he tells Serkan what happened. Serkan says that he can't help at all. However, he ate too much while he recounted what happened. When Serkan realizes this and tells Eda, Eda dismisses it saying that she is stressed out these days. Then Melo arrived. And he tells Eda what happened to Burak. Meanwhile, Serkan is working on the computer. Eda goes to Serkan and drives him crazy and leaves. The next day, Kiraz asks her father for a brother again. When Eda gets up, she walks up to them and sees the project that Serkan prepared for the night. She kisses Serkan first and brings the project to Art Life right away. However, PRL and Engin was still not satisfied. Because his goal is not to do projects, but to be with Serkan. When they tell Eda about this, Eda understands. And then the idea of downsizing the company comes up. When he leaves the company and comes to Serkan, Serkan claims that he is satisfied with himself. Eda, on the other hand, claims that he believes teaching is a passion and that it will pass quickly. And she says that she wants me to go and fix things with PRL and Engin if possible. However, Serkan asks him if he wants all this for the architect Serkan, who has charisma. Eda gets mad and says that I think about you all the time. And he claims that he should get up immediately, get dressed and go with his friends. Meanwhile, Aiden has cut Safi's salary in half to get used to normal life. So he found another job in Safi in addition to his job with Aiden and went to see him. When Aiden calls Kemal and tells him about the situation, Kemal tells him that he should call Safi immediately. Because he says his mother will come in a few days, so he will need Safi a lot. Serkan went to the company and started talking to PRL and Engin. PRL and Engin also tell Serkan that they have transferred their shares. They tell each other what they have done in the past. They tell each other that they did this work out of love for each other. When Serkan asks what they will do from now on, Engin and PRL say that they can start over as they started. Serkan gets very excited and PRL and Engin hug. They say this idea is Eda's and that it should be in this business. They say that this time they will start as 4 people, not 3 people. Meanwhile, Aiden goes to the cafe that Safi found to look for Safi. She tells Safi everything to get him back home. When Safi comes before him, she first silences Aiden. Then, Safi leads Aiden to the prepared table. Meanwhile, Kemal goes out and approaches Aiden and makes a marriage proposal to him. Aiden gets very excited and accepts the marriage proposal. As Serkan is about to return home and tell Eda what happened, Eda silences Serkan and tells him that she is pregnant. Serkan is surprised when he hears this, he doesn't know what to say and stays where she is. Don't forget to like our video for those who love the Knock on My Door series and never want it to reach the final. You can also share our video with your friends so they can follow what is happening in our series. We have reached the end of our video for now. See you in the next video. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.